Hi there, for this part of the tutorial, we finish up on the Firebase Backend functionality. This ensures that our CRUD operations on the backend are working. We locate our web project and then upload it to our web server to ensure it's available on the interweb. Most of the functionalities of the app will only work when a user has signed up, then signed in, and then chooses a meal recipe from the diet plan. A new user will have to sign up using an email and password. On success validation, their user profile is saved to the firestore database. They are then taken to the diet plans to choose meal recipes. As they are new users, there are no meal recipes on their profiles. A user selects a diet plan. Available recipes for that diet plan are fetched and displayed using the REST API. The user is then able to order a recipe. This activates a process of reading existing user recipes and updates them with the new recipe. No duplicates are stored. One can later add functionality to not order already existing recipes. Each time a recipe is ordered, the user profile is updated to have a list of all their recipes. By activating the profile, the current active user is able to see all their recipes. One can update this list to be more informative, etc. This concludes our vuetify front end and our Firebase backend. As noted, as soon as a user signs out, he or she is not able to make any diet selections or place orders. Previously, after a sign up, a user was taken to the menu. When a user signs in, they are taken to their profile. It's time to take a peek at the source code. When our application runs, the PG index module is called and this executes the vuetify code. We have registered some global methods like add recipe, add user, and update recipes here. These can be called from any component with run method. When a user clicks order on a meal recipe, the method add recipe is called and it receives the recipe selected. The details of the active user, registered when a user signs up or signs in, are read. Then from the user's collection, all the existing recipes of the user are read and then updated. A call to update the firestore record is then made specific for that user. This call is update recipes, which receives the payload that contains the updated recipes and the user ID. To update a Firebase record, the collection set method is used. This creates a new record if it does not exist or overwrites an existing record. As you can see here, the order recipe, which gets called when a user clicks order, calls add recipe and then executes the chain of events. Adding a recipe should only happen for an authenticated user. This contains all our components and views in B4X files. What we also needed to update was the submit button on registration. When a user is registered, the user's collection should be updated with the user ID and an empty recipes list. The primary key for each user is their user ID. So that is what the add user method does. It creates a new user record on the user's collection. This is also a global method that can be called from any component using run method. Now, when a user logs out, the details of the user, the authentication, the user recipes and recipes should be cleared. To explain further, our application building happens at app start in the main module. This builds up the JavaScript, CSS and assets needed for our project to run. All the source code we have written in B4X is transpiled to JavaScript. The compiled web app is then published to our own specific folder, in this case it's a Laragon folder. Here we have our assets, scripts, styles, and the HTML. This is what we will publish to our web server. Let's open the HTML file. There is the title we specified in our code. The links to the CSS files. The loading of the script files we have provided. The source code we wrote sits on the app.js file. Let's open the app.js file. This is all the transpiled code with additional helper code to make the app work. Most dead code has been removed from the app as we turned that option on when we were compiling the app. Now it's time to upload our app to the web servers so that it's available on the internet. We are done here.